This comes to us from Pirate Nation, who posted a screenshot of a tweet that I saw with my own two eyes that I bookmarked that I planned on talking about tonight. But then that account is now gone. I find it very curious that this is not just a X account, but it's also a YouTube channel that has 11,800 subscribers and posts a video every week or so. Why was their account taken off coincidentally the same day that they tweeted this picture out? This is crazy to me. From the 41st precinct. Every company that has lobbied against the Stop Killing Games campaign, to the surprise of absolutely no one. Activision Blizzard, Bandai Namco, EA, Embracer Group, Epic Games, Microsoft, obviously no surprise there. Netflix, no surprise. Niantic. Nintendo is on this list. Riot Games, Roblox, no surprise. Sega, Sony, Square Enix, Take-Two, Ubisoft, Warner Brothers, ZeniMax. I mean, all of the major companies out there are part of or somehow participating, allegedly, in the lobbying effort against the Stop Killing Games campaign. And in the responses to the pirate software, we see Dash Attack says, Sega isn't surprising, considering they constantly delist games for no effing reason. That happened to me with Phantasy Star on the iPhone. I purchased Phantasy Star 2 on my iPhone way back in the day, and then they delisted it and then relisted a new Phantasy Star 2 with ads in it. And it was, what was it, free to purchase, or it was updated. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was a different Phantasy Star 2. And when I re-downloaded it, it had a bunch of ads everywhere in it that you could not avoid, or you had to rebuy to get rid of them. And I'm like, I already bought this game. And then they delisted it and then created the game again and resold it again. And the one you bought before, you couldn't get anymore. And I'm like, that's some BS. You shouldn't be able to do that. Yeah, it made you update it. Thank you, David. Yeah, it made me update it. I'm like, I didn't want to do this. Why would I need to? It was working perfectly fine before. Why do I need to update this? Clinic says the usual suspects. Nintendo, once again, proving they are anti-consumer. We got Model Gamer. All companies that would take a hit on their bottom line if the initiative goes through. The fact that they're panicking means they feel this is going to go through and the gravy train is over. How do you want companies to pay for ongoing live? Curious how that does work. So this is someone trying to push for it. And this is clearly someone that has no idea what Ross is talking about and what the initiative even is, because no one is asking these companies to continue ongoing live service. I can't stand how they keep getting this one thing wrong when it was never a thing in the first place. They keep trying to make it a straw man to knock down so that they can try to bring it to the government and be like, look, this is insane. This request can't be done. And it's like, that's not what we're asking for. We're not asking for companies to continue live service for a game for eternity. Stop saying that. We're asking for games to allow people, if they want to play the game on their own private servers, to be able to do that without them taking it completely offline and removing all the assets from it. It's really not that hard to understand. This is clearly someone that is purposefully misrepresenting it. Here we go. First response, and completely ratioed. They don't have to. Self-hosting was the norm 15 years ago. Won't someone think of the companies, though? F off. Stop Killing Games is not asking companies to pay for hosting their games to online services forever. Full stop. Repeat it. Say it at a time for good measure. It is requiring that they allow third parties to host it when they decide to stop hosting it themselves. Private hosting as well as adding bots would be nice because I travel. Yeah, it almost feels like a troll that this guy would say this because yikes. Rock Solid, who also posted this, and Rock Solid says Warner Brothers, Supercell, Microsoft, Nintendo, Ubisoft, Sony, Sega, EA. Guess who's not on the list? And there's Gabe Newell. Steam ain't there, bro. But it's weird because this account no longer exists. And I keep going back to the timing of the 41st precinct to be completely removed from X. It blows my mind. Like, why is that? What did they do? What happened? It's so popular and accepted to hate on rich companies. Businessmen really are the most oppressed minority in the world. The day Gabe dies is the day Steam is taken over by greedy suits who will destroy the platform. I don't know about that. I've talked and spoken to Hypnotic about this before, and he's talked about it multiple times, and I wholeheartedly agree with him that Gabe Newell definitely has some sort of succession plan in place for when he ultimately passes to ensure that Steam stays the way Steam is for the foreseeable future. But I think that's everyone's major concern because Gabe is not changing. He never has, he never will. Steam keeps winning by doing nothing. And there's nothing more that these outside companies want to do than to either take Steam over or take Steam down. Because Steam is the major roadblock in computer gaming that is completely destroying the greed of these other companies. It keeps them in check. It forces them to comply to not being able to be greedy. It's what's ruining the console wars. It's destroying consoles in general because Steam just keeps doing nothing and winning while these other companies keep trying to raise prices and more gigaflops and teraflops and more power here, more do this, and you can get these games here. It's like, great. You can now take your games on the road thanks to the Switch. Cool. We'll make a Steam Deck, and we'll be able to do that too. So Olympus Mon says, I'm going to stand by my opinion that eventually Steam will take a turn for corporate greed. Sorry, it happens to all companies eventually. I don't agree with that here. I genuinely don't agree with that. I think that Steam is different. I think they are making more money than God every single day. And if you are already infinite money glitch in this world and you can buy whatever you want, you already have everything. There are certain people out there. They're just like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need more than this. We got a good thing going. Let's just keep it going. We don't need to do anything different forever. Great. Sometimes people are just apparently just happy with what they make. I think it tells you that Steam has struck a perfect balance, an equilibrium, if you will, for the cost benefit analysis of what they do and what people get for what they purchase. It makes perfect sense. But yeah, that is interesting that all these companies are allegedly a part of the lobbying group trying to go against Stop Killing Games in one way or another. And seeing any of these company names on this list, it really doesn't surprise me at all. Like one bit. I wish I could say it did, but it doesn't. Mercenary for 2, need to make Gabe immortal or cyborg body. Or just have him force a succession plan forever. I don't know if you can do that for stuff, but maybe he has a very uniquely worded will to ensure that Steam stays Steam forever, but who knows? Snuggle Struggle in the house for the 10 banger says, AAA executives absolutely despise the fact that gamers own physical copies of games instead of only playing their latest live service slop. We love Champions of North on PS2 plus 4-player attachment. Fun fact, don't quote me on this, but I do believe I am in the end credits as a QA tester for Champions of Norath. So check next time you see the credits on that, because that is a game that I did test when I was at SOE. Demon Carroll, member for 8 months. Go back to that pigeon. Dude looked like he was cooking. Pigeon, dear game publishers, if you shut down your dedicated servers, then an always online game becomes unplayable. But if you update the game later with peer-to-peer community service, BF4, you'll be able to keep selling the game plus make money. Just update terms of service. Win-win. Very rarely will you get me to heart a Biden meme, but yes. Shout out to Demon Carroll for member of 8 months. Appreciate you, bro. Masagawa for the 5-banger. Companies that would rather push messages than give us fan service or games we want. Doesn't want us to continue to play games we enjoy. Imagine that. Isn't that curious? Imagine that. It's almost like they'd rather try to sell you propaganda and use games as an avenue to push the propaganda than make a game for the reasons of making a game and having a fun, enjoyable experience. Go figure. Go figure.